Have you ever noticed that some dishes look incredibly appetizing, or may even be part of your long-standing eating habits, but after eating them, your body feels heavier, more fatigued? And strangely enough, it's the very same food that young people can enjoy without issue. Yet for us, it leads to bloating, trouble sleeping, or even aches and pains all over. If you're over 60 and often feel this way after meals, then today's video is truly meant for you. Stay with me until the end, because the ninth food on this list, though it may seem harmless, is actually a silent culprit that robs many seniors of restful sleep, mental clarity, and even heart health, without them ever realizing it. This isn't because your body is failing, nor because you're lacking nutrition. It's simply because, after the age of 60, our bodies need to be cared for in a different way. Foods that once seemed harmless in our youth can now become a burden, if we don't learn how to choose wisely. Aging slows everything down, from the functions of the liver and kidneys to the absorption capacity of the gut, and even the elasticity of our blood vessels. And just like that, an ordinary meal can suddenly disrupt your digestion, cause your blood pressure to fluctuate, or make your heart race at night. But don't worry. You don't have to make drastic changes. Just by starting with an awareness of the 9 foods you should limit, you can already begin to create a gentle yet profound transformation in your health. Especially the 7th food, one that many people consume daily, may be silently affecting your memory and blood pressure. If you've already passed the age of 60, leave the number 1 in the comments, so I know I'm walking this journey with some truly precious companions. And if what I'm about to share resonates with something deep within you, don't hesitate to click subscribe, so we can continue this path of lightness, peace, and joyful living together, here on the Senior Compass channel. 1. Red meat. When a meal becomes a burden on the heart, have you ever felt your heart beating faster than usual after a meal rich in beef, pork, or a hot pot filled with goat meat? Have you ever taken a midday nap only to feel your heart fluttering irregularly, an uncomfortable tightness in your chest, and a heaviness that lingers into the evening? In youth, red meat is a rich source of nutrients, providing protein and iron. But after 60, a meal with too much red meat becomes a challenge for both the digestive and cardiovascular systems. That's because at this stage, the liver and kidneys are no longer agile enough to process the saturated fats and proteins in red meat, leading to strain on the arteries and silently raising blood pressure and cholesterol levels. Many people still mistakenly believe that the more meat, the stronger you are. But in reality, older adults only need about 30–40 grams of protein per meal and should prioritize easy-to-digest sources like fish, tofu, or thoroughly boiled eggs. A study from Harvard Medical School showed that people over 65 who frequently consumed red meat had a 28% higher risk of cardiovascular disease than those who ate it fewer than twice a week. You may have seen this happen to yourself. After a hot pot meal, you can't sleep well, feel tired, your heart races, and your stomach bloats. It's not because you overate. It's because your body can no longer tolerate certain foods the way it used to. So the takeaway for this section is simple. Eat to feel light, not just to feel full. When we eat right, the heart beats gently, like a soothing melody in the later years of life. And if you think that just reducing red meat is enough, the next food, seemingly very familiar, is silently loading salt into your body every single day. 2. Processed foods. When convenience becomes a hidden threat. Have you ever thought, eating a sausage, some preserved meat or canned food once in a while can't be that bad? In reality, for young people, occasional flexibility in meals is no big deal. But for older adults, every convenient meal may be another silent blow to the kidneys, the heart, and blood pressure. Processed foods, such as sausages, industrial ham, instant noodles, bacon, and canned fish often contain large amounts of salt, preservatives, and trans fats. With weakened blood vessels and aging cell membranes, these substances can rapidly increase blood pressure, constrict arteries, and heighten the risk of stroke. A common misunderstanding is, as long as it's not salty to the taste, it's okay. But the problem lies in hidden salt in processed foods, not always obvious on the tongue, but quietly accumulating in the bloodstream and arterial walls. The World Health Organization, WHO, recommends that older adults consume no more than 5 grams of salt per day. That's less than 1 teaspoon. Yet just one packet of instant noodles can already contain nearly 2 grams of salt. Maybe you've had a hot bowl of noodles at night, thinking it's light and easy to digest. But afterward, you had trouble sleeping, a dry mouth, and restlessness. It's because your body was reacting to a sodium overload. And then you realize, living lightly doesn't mean living with less. It means living with discernment. When we reject what harms us, we're making space for healing. And now comes a food that isn't salty or meaty, but can still worsen joint pain and speed up skin aging if consumed too often. 3. Refined sugar. No matter how sweet, don't overindulge. Who among us hasn't been charmed by a slice of cake, a bowl of sweet soup, or a chewy candy in the quiet of an afternoon break? At this age, sweetness isn't just a flavor. It's a memory, a gentle comfort in the lonely hours of the day. But that very sweetness, if it comes from refined sugar, can slowly drain an older adult's health. After age 60, the body produces less insulin, and cells become less responsive to sugar, causing blood sugar levels to rise, leading to fatigue, dizziness, blurry vision, and increased risk of type 2 diabetes. What's unfortunate is that sugar hides in many foods we think are harmless: bottled fruit juices, sweet breads, condensed milk, energy drinks. All of these overload the liver, increase blood fats, and accelerate skin aging. The Journal of Clinical Nutrition once published a study revealing that seniors over 60 who consumed high amounts of refined sugar were twice as likely to experience memory loss and reduced focus compared to those who ate less. You may have noticed it too. After a sugary drink, you suddenly struggle to sleep or wake up with sore joints. These aren't random occurrences. Your body is speaking to you through these subtle signs of discomfort. So remember, the sweetest thing is the care of loved ones, not the candy. Sweetness can still be part of life, but it should come from natural fruit or from the warmth of sharing within the family. And if you think sugar is bad, salt is dangerous, the next food is one that robs you of sleep, yet has nothing to do with taste at all. 4. Strong coffee. A moment of alertness, a day of restlessness. Have you ever had a cup of coffee in the morning, only to feel restless, uneasy, and unable to sleep through the night? Have you ever wondered why just a small cup can leave you tossing and turning for hours? Coffee, at many points in life, is a beloved companion for adults. But after the age of 60, the body no longer metabolizes caffeine as quickly as it used to. Even a small cup of strong coffee can make the heart race, raise blood pressure, and trigger anxiety and persistent insomnia. Many people believe, "I'm used to coffee, it doesn't affect me." But the truth is, our tolerance to caffeine changes with age, and with each passing year, the liver's ability to detoxify caffeine decreases, causing it to linger longer in the bloodstream. According to the American Heart Association, seniors should limit their caffeine intake to under 200 mg per day, roughly equivalent to 1 diluted cup of coffee. But if you're drinking strong brew, or also consuming tea, chocolate, or energy drinks, your total caffeine intake can easily exceed the recommended limit without your knowledge. You might have experienced it. Lying awake, unable to sleep, your mind wandering endlessly, your limbs feeling jittery without knowing why. That could very well be the after effect of your morning cup of coffee. a substance your body can no longer process like it used to. So instead of cutting out coffee entirely, consider switching to lighter brews or trying decaffeinated coffee if you wish to maintain your sipping habit. And remember, true alertness doesn't come from caffeine, but from restful sleep, light meals, and a peaceful heart. And if coffee keeps you awake, the next food, though considered healthy, might be silently weakening your joints and bones if consumed too often. 5. Full-fat dairy. Rich and creamy. No longer means nourishing. Do you remember when, in the old days, our elders viewed condensed milk, butter, and cheese as restorative foods for the sick, when just a glass of milk at night was enough to ensure a restful sleep? But today, our understanding of nutrition has evolved. For seniors, full-fat dairy products, creamy cheeses, and rich condensed milk are major sources of saturated fat and cholesterol, which, if consumed excessively, can harm the heart, liver, and kidneys. Many still maintain the habit of drinking condensed milk at night to sleep better, cherry, or eating cheese to boost calcium, without realizing that full-fat dairy is high in saturated fats that thicken the blood, raise blood pressure, and increase the risk of atherosclerosis. A study by the Vietnam National Institute of Nutrition found that seniors over 60 who regularly consumed full-fat dairy had a 40% higher risk of dyslipidemia compared to those who opted for low-fat options. You may have experienced this. After a glass of rich milk, your stomach feels bloated, digestion slows, and you find yourself unable to sleep peacefully. It's not your fault. Your body has simply changed, and the nourishing foods of yesterday may no longer suit your present needs. So here's a gentle suggestion. Choose low-fat milk, unsweetened plant-based milk, or low-fat probiotic yogurt. Because the most valuable thing isn't eating rich foods to gain strength, but eating to feel light, refreshed, and at peace. And if you think fatty foods are the main concern, the next item might surprise you. It's a healthy drink that many seniors mistakenly trust. 6. Bottled fruit juice. A sweet mask. Hiding massive sugar loads. Have you ever bought bottled fruit juice thinking, instead of sweets, I'll drink juice, it's healthier? Have you ever enjoyed a chilled orange juice only to feel flushed, your heart racing, and not know why? Many older adults choose bottled juice over sodas, believing it to be the healthier choice. But the truth is, most commercial fruit juices are loaded with refined sugars, low in fiber, and retain very little of the original vitamins found in fresh fruit. Just one bottle of orange juice can contain 25 to 30 grams of sugar, nearly 6 teaspoons, exceeding the recommended daily sugar intake for older adults. And the lack of fiber causes sugar to be absorbed too rapidly into the bloodstream, resulting in blood sugar spikes, dizziness, and heart palpitations. For those with prediabetes, high blood pressure, or lipid disorders, bottled juice is no better than soda. Though the label may read 100% pure fruit juice, if you don't check the ingredient list carefully, you can easily fall into the trap of this sweet deception. You may have felt it yourself. A bottle of juice in the afternoon lifts your energy briefly, but later leaves you restless, dehydrated, or achy. These are real biological responses, not imagined reactions. So choose a simpler path. Eat fresh fruit instead of juicing it, or if you prefer to drink juice, make it at home, unsweetened, without ice, and consumed after main meals to avoid sudden sugar spikes. Because sometimes the sweetest nourishment isn't in a bottle, but in the mindfulness behind your choices. 7. Instant noodles. When a quick fix slows the body down, have you ever had an evening when you didn't feel like cooking, and a hot bowl of instant noodles felt like enough? Have you ever thought, just one pack, what harm could it do? But then afterward you felt bloated, your heart raced, and your sleep was shallow and disturbed. Instant noodles, seemingly a temporary hunger fix, actually contain a harmful mix of trans fats, refined flour, sodium, and industrial additives. For seniors with weakened liver, kidney, and vascular functions, this is more of a fatigue formula than a nutritious meal. One of the most dangerous aspects of instant noodles is their excessive sodium content. One packet can contain 1,800–2,200 milliliters of sodium, nearly the entire recommended daily limit. Additionally, the repeatedly used frying oil in noodle bricks increases the risk of atherosclerosis, especially in those with a history of heart disease. A study in Japan revealed that women over 60 who consumed instant noodles twice a week had over a 50% higher risk of cardiovascular events and metabolic syndrome. You may have felt it. After eating noodles, you feel overheated, constantly thirsty, and your digestion is off. That's your body's way of saying this food is no longer suitable for you. So let instant noodles rest quietly on the store shelves. And instead, opt for quick yet nourishing alternatives: oatmeal porridge, vegetable soup, or soft rice noodles. Because eating quickly to feel full is instinct, but eating wisely to stay healthy is the wisdom of aging. And if you thought instant noodles were the last thing to avoid, the next food is something many consume daily, without realizing it may be aging their skin from within. 8. Salty foods. When even a spoonful of fish sauce matters to your blood vessels, have you ever been scolded for eating too bland like boiled snails? And have you ever thought that a little fish sauce, a few slices of pickled eggplant, or a slightly savory potato soup bowl couldn't possibly make a difference? But in reality, salt is the silent enemy of senior blood pressure. Just 1 to 2 grams of excess salt per day can double your risk of hypertension, stroke, and kidney failure. The danger is, salt isn't just in the grains themselves. It hides everywhere in dipping sauces, fish sauce, braised dishes, canned goods, and pickled foods. Many people say, "But I already eat bland food." The truth is, our sense of taste diminishes with age. The food you think is just right may actually contain far more salt than medical guidelines recommend. And each day that passes with 1 extra spoon of fish sauce is a day your body struggles to process excess sodium. The World Health Organization recommends that older adults consume no more than 5 grams of salt per day, which equals less than 1 teaspoon of salt or 2 teaspoons of pure fish sauce. You may have experienced sudden headaches, mild leg swelling, or waking up feeling heavy, with a racing heart. These could be the effects of a heavy hand with salt at last night's dinner, even if it didn't taste salty. The philosophy of this section is, go easy on salt, so your heart can feel lighter. A good meal doesn't have to be rich in flavor, just balanced enough to nourish peaceful living. And now, the final food, though not especially salty, fatty, or sweet, can still cause harm to both your sleep and your memory when consumed at the wrong time or in the wrong amount. 9. Alcohol. When even 1 small glass can wear the body out. All day, have you ever had a glass of wine to help you sleep better? Or raised a beer with an old friend on a weekend afternoon for fun? But afterward, felt uncomfortable, couldn't sleep, your stomach bloated, or your heart pounding for no clear reason. Alcohol, whether it's wine, rice liquor, or light beer, contains ethanol, a substance that directly affects the brain, liver, heart, and nervous system. As we age, the body produces less of the enzymes that break down alcohol, causing it to linger longer in the bloodstream, damage cells, and disrupt sleep-regulating hormones. Many people think, just a little won't hurt. But even 50 ml of strong liquor or 200 ml of beer can cause temporary spikes in blood pressure, arrhythmias, and nervous system stimulation in seniors. Additionally, alcohol reduces absorption of vitamins B1, B12, and zinc, nutrients essential for memory and mental clarity. You may have noticed it yourself. After a night with just a little alcohol, you struggle to sleep, wake up in the middle of the night, feel tired the next day, or even slightly foggy without knowing why. That's your nervous system pushing back against the effects of alcohol. The message here is this: joy doesn't reside in the alcohol. It's in the look, in your companion's eyes, in the calm presence of your heart. When we say no to a glass, we say yes to lasting clarity. So we've just journeyed through something truly special. A gentle yet profound exploration of the 9 types of foods seniors should consider limiting. You don't need to remember every detail. Just 2 key takeaways: reduce salt and cut back on refined sugar, and you'll already make a clear difference in your heart health, blood pressure, and quality of sleep. Sometimes, a meal doesn't just fill the stomach. It nourishes our emotions, our spirit, and even our memory. But if the meal isn't right for your body, it can become a silent burden, straining your liver, your kidneys, and your sleep, quietly, without you even realizing. We are no longer at the age to eat for fun or just for taste. We are in a phase of life where we must eat to feel light, to live mindfully, and to experience each moment more fully. No one is asking you to change everything overnight. Just today, cut back 1 spoon of salt, choose fresh fruit over bottled juice, or replace a bowl of noodles with oatmeal porridge, and you've already begun a journey of inner healing. And remember, you can start again at any age. All it takes is choosing to care for yourself, beginning with 1 gentle meal. You don't need a strict diet, just tender selectiveness. Not because you are weaker than others, but because your body deserves more love than ever before. You've lived long enough to know health isn't about showing off. It's about that quiet sense of peace within. It's waking up without dizziness, taking afternoon walks without joint pain, enjoying meals without bloating. I believe you deserve to live clearly, live healthily, and live fully. Not just a long life, but a beautiful, joyful life, in harmony with yourself. If you'd like a simple habit to start with, read the ingredient labels whenever you buy food. And always ask yourself 1 gentle question: will this food help me feel lighter after I eat it? If this video feels like a friend whispering to you over tea, go ahead and hit subscribe so we can continue to meet in many more videos to come. And if you have loved ones around your age, don't hesitate to share this video with them. Sometimes, just 1 sentence in a video can help spark a small, life-changing decision. I'd truly love to hear from you. Among the 9 types of food we discussed today, which one do you consume the most? And which will you start reducing first? Leave a comment below, so I can walk with you 1 small step at a time. Because beauty doesn't lie in our age, but in the way we cherish ourselves each day. Choose to live light, so that the years ahead pass gently, like a soft and soothing melody. And you know what? When you eat right, you're planting seeds of joy. That joy doesn't need to be extravagant. Just a restful night's sleep, a morning without headaches, a stroll without knee pain, is already enough to warm the soul. Old age is not the end. It's a soft transition, inviting us to live slower, live more attentively, and live more deeply. And I'll be right here every week, walking alongside you through each of these small, beautiful changes.